Hello everyone, welcome to the Only Watches channel. In today's video, we'll go through the top Timex watches that you can buy this year. Additional product details can be found at the links I've provided below. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 1. Timex Giorgio Galli S1. A love letter to timepieces is the shortest way I can think of to explain the S1. This is, after all, the unrestrained creation of Giorgio Galli, chief designer of the Milanese research facilities. This Timex watch still comes in at a reasonable $450 and is a good investment. Timex's website depicts a face that seems almost matte, but closer inspection reveals a sunburst style. Slender hands extend, and all but one have been painted with lume. The face just has markings and no actual numbers. The brand name appears at 12 o'clock, and the title of the watch appears across the bottom border in tiny letters. But there's something unusual about the 6 o'clock position, a synthetic ruby. This is because Galley was advised to include a ruby bearing as an adornment on the otherwise bare face of the piece to draw attention to the fact that it is a mechanical object. The usual mineral crystal used in Timex watches has been replaced with a far more durable sapphire, double dome crystal. The case is a stunning 38 millimeters in diameter and is made of brushed stainless steel. The case's injection molded construction allows for details like hollowed lugs and a variety of cuts and striations around the back, sides, and crown. The outcome is eye-opening. The strap, constructed of synthetic rubber, is the only real flaw in the design. It has a slit along one side and is offered in colors that complement the user's face: black, blue, or green, depending on the vendor. But seriously, a gorgeous timepiece like this should have a display a notch or two beyond what you'd get on an Apple Watch. Timex offers other straps if you like the design, but not the color $75, which is pricey but understandable. The good news is that the lugs are a standard 18 millimeters, making it easy to track down a replacement. A unique S1 rotor powers the Miyota 9039 movement, which is visible via the see-through caseback. The 24-jewel movement is hand-wound, hackable, and resistant to shock thanks to Miyota's Parashock technology, and it has a 40-hour power reserve. The animation has also been fine-tuned to make watching it more pleasurable. It should keep good time with plus 10 to 30 accuracy. A small number of new owners have noticed problems with quality control. These are primarily mechanical faults, such as inaccurate movements or crown stems that have been bent past the stated tolerance. The dust becomes wedged between the glass and the face, according to some owners. Even though your watch will probably be flawless and ready to use, it is still a good idea to give it a quick once-over when you finally get your hands on it. Even with its flaws, this Timex watch represents the pinnacle of the brand's design and functionality. There's no way you'll be disappointed. Number 2. Timex Navi Harbour XL. When it comes to comfort and convenience, nothing beats a diver. Dive watches can be worn at any time. Designed initially for underwater operations, they excel in the field and pair nicely with formal attire for the ball and the subsequent meeting with your commander. This is true for the Navi Harbour XL as well. A black dial displays the time, with thin hands and classic hour markings, in addition to 24-hour numerals that call to mind a field watch. The appearance of the face is, to be fair, quite chaotic. The brand's name appears below the 12 o'clock position, while the model name, Navi Harbour, and the 10 ATM water resistance marking are located at 6 o'clock. Unfortunately, the day and date are absent, despite the fact that there is already a fair quantity of debris, given the current call volume, that may be for the best. When viewed in profile, the watch's 41 millimeter stainless steel case is roughly the same size as other big diving watches. A plain, unsigned crown may be found at 3 o'clock. The diving watch aesthetic is completed with a black painted bezel, with markings every 10 minutes and a 15-minute segment. You won't be able to see much of the supplied brown NATO band until you flip the watch over, but the back is stainless steel and engraved with information on the watch's features and the Timex logo. The watch, nevertheless, is not without flaws. A true diving watch? This is not. What I mean is that the watch isn't equipped with the necessary characteristics to withstand the rigors of underwater use. The case back and crown are secured with screws to seal the two weak points most vulnerable to water damage. In order to get the Diver's 200 designation, a watch must first pass ISO pressure testing. These capabilities are missing from the Navi Harbour XL. Meanwhile, the mineral crystal used in the watch's glass is notoriously prone to scratches, so the lume will become even less visible with time. Number 3. Timex Expedition Northfield Post 36 Solar. In the 1960s, during the Vietnam War, the Army produced Specification 3818B, detailing the requirements for the functionality, appearance, and durability of military wristwatches. While the Benris DTU-2AP was the final product of this trend, many other brands used the design to create the timeless timepieces we know and love today. One of the best examples of this style is the Timex Expedition Field Post 36 Solar. The quartz drive in this watch provides a 4-month power reserve, but you wouldn't know it because the movement is much quieter than that of typical quartz watches. However, the motion is not without flaws. The misalignment of second hand appears to be a widespread complaint among owners. The watch is housed in a small case that is 36 mm in diameter, 44 mm from lug to lug, and 10 mm in height. In reality, a caliper measurement disproves Timex's claim that the Field Post 36 Solar is 12 mm tall. The watch's NATO strap is to blame for the variance, in my opinion. Regardless, the watch is less likely to get caught on things due to its reduced size, and if it does get snagged, you needn't worry about it breaking easily. There are 2 screws that secure the crown and the rear of the case, which is composed of brushed stainless steel. These elements, along with the sapphire crystal, create a watch that is as durable as it is functional, no matter where your travels may take you. A black face with bold white numbers and 24-hour marks is visible through the sapphire crystal, a welcome improvement over the mineral crystal used in many previous Timex products. The dial's outside rim and the hands both glow in the dark, but there's no indiglo to be found. Across the dial is the Timex logo and the phrase "solar powered." The lack of a day and date option is really the only significant shortcoming. The watch is decently made, but it looks inadequate at the claimed price of $170 due to the misalignment of the second hand. The watch, though, looks like a steal, all things considered. Number 4. Timex Marlin Hand-Wound 34 mm. In the 1960s, when the Marlin first debuted, it was the focus of extensive advertising. The first Timex Marlin, so named for the fast-swimming fish and its waterproofness, was put through its paces on live television by Timex ambassador John Cameron Swayze. The production stopped for good, but only temporarily. The Marlin was relaunched 35 years after Timex stopped producing mechanical watches. It's a beautiful homage to the past, and the revival of this Timex model was eagerly anticipated. Watches with acrylic crystals are not uncommon. This is perhaps a nod to the fact that the original was painted in acrylic. Useful, but prone to scratches. When seen up close, the 34 mm diameter face exposes a dull silver starburst, black markers and numerals, with the same font as the original, alternate on the watch's indexes. Just below the 12 is the brand name, the only text on the face. A black leather strap and plain black hand, no lume, round off the retro design. The case is 10 mm tall and composed of stainless steel that has been polished to a mirror finish. This is a little watch overall, with a face diameter of 34 mm, yet it is not unwearably so. When you turn over the watch, you'll see the brand name, model number, and other technical specifications engraved on the stainless steel caseback. It lacks the transparent casebacks of Timex's automatic watches, which showcase the inner workings of the timepiece for aesthetic purposes. Let's talk about Marlin's mechanisms while we're on the subject. The Marlin is a mechanical watch, meaning it runs on gears and springs rather than a battery, and hence has to be wound to keep time. The caliber, supposedly a tweaked Seagull ST6, has 17 joules and a power reserve of around 34 hours. If you want to keep it running, you should probably wind it every day. Neither is it a really impressive motion. Several owners have complained about serious inaccuracies in the watch, suggesting that quality control is a concern. Although some variation is to be anticipated, several users reported losing as much as 10 minutes every day due to inconsistencies. These issues appear to be uncommon, but consumers should be aware of them before buying this watch. Number 5. Timex Expedition Field Chronograph. If you frequently find yourself in a situation where you need to keep track of time but don't have access to a phone or a dedicated stopwatch, a chronograph is a great backup alternative. The Timex Expedition Field Chronograph is an excellent alternative. The mechanism of this battery-operated timepiece is housed in a casing made of brass. The case's black surface is readily scratched and worn, according to one reviewer. This might be a plus if you're going for a rough appearance. However, the crystal itself is constructed of mineral glass, so the casing isn't the only scratchable surface. Not everything that comes to mind is scratchable. The next one is hefty. It's not a little watch, measuring 43 millimeters in diameter and 12.5 millimeters in height. It's not nearly Invicta proportion, but it's not exactly micro either. Timex is assisted by making the bezel appear smaller by smoothing off the edges. Despite the increased surface area, the appearance remains chaotic. The day function and the chronograph displays need the indices to serve as minute markers instead of the usual 12, 6, and 12 o'clock positions. The light tan hue of the markers is a good contrast to the dark black of the background. Even the watch's hands are stylish. The top chronograph dial's hands, together with the hour and minute hands, are black with white lume. However, the chronograph and the watch's hands that measure seconds are a subtle but attractive shade of orange. Completing the busy appearance is a tachometer that runs down the inner edge of the dial just inside the bezel, as well as the phrases Timex, Expedition, Indigo, and WR100M. This watch, which can be purchased right now on Amazon for just more than $50, is a great buy. The tachometer on this watch lends it a sleek aviation vibe. It's convenient if you frequently switch time zones to be able to alter the hour without also needing to change the minute hand. The quartz mechanism guarantees reliable precision. And of course, the dial can be illuminated with the touch of a crown, thanks to Indigo making this watch useful in any environment. It's a deal at the present price. If you guys like this video, or if this video helped you, please give the video a like. Links to all the products mentioned are in the description below. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Till next time, I will see you guys later.